Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross-legged position. Just feel that you are level at the seat bones. Have a little wriggle about, make sure that the seat bones feel level, and then hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Just look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Listen to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Fill your lungs from the bottom to the top and empty them from the top to the bottom. Keep your eyes focused on something that doesn't move. Keeping your eyes still in the socket so that you can focus on the movement of the breath. After a little while, if you feel like you're not sitting evenly, then adjust until you are. Once you're fully settled, then release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips, into the fingernails. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to close. Just continue to focus on the action of filling the lungs. Keeping the chest elevating up to the ceiling, keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. With an exhalation, bring your chin forwards and down to make contact with your chest. Lifting your chest up to make contact with your chin. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. A gesture of wisdom, peacefulness. physical intelligence that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and then hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Just feeling that just lifting out of the floor helps you to stretch and to bring energy into the body. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. Drawing your abdomen and your ribs and your shoulders. Using each exhalation to turn a little more deeply. And then gently come back to the centre, hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest and then turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. Gently come back to the centre. Come off your lift and then sit yourself back onto your heels. The big toes together, the knees apart. Just sitting back onto your shins, just letting the shins press themselves into the floor. Just feel how there's energy in your mat. There's energy in that connection to the ground, just connecting into the floor to ground your energy. Lift the chest, elevate the heart area, and keep the seat bones down on the heels as much as you possibly can. Keep the head lifted as you come forwards. Wriggling into the hips, spreading the fingers, spreading the palms. Just gently coming forwards, not being in a rush to get into the stage where your head reaches the floor. Just keep the front chest lifted, keep the seat bones down. And then when you bring your head down, maybe it's surprising how close your head is to the floor. Feel that you can lengthen the tailbone region down into the heels. You can lengthen from the hips and into the armpits and into the elbows and the wrists and the palms and the finger knuckles and the fingers, even into the fingernails. Just lengthening along the mat, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just allowing the body to gently extend and open, but keep the arms really firm. Keep the seat bones down on the heels. Come up onto your knees, have your little fingers on the edge of the mat, the thumbs stretching towards each other, have the feet as wide apart as the mat. And then come up into dog down, just feel how the pose feels familiar, yet unique to this moment in time. Of course, it'll only feel familiar if this isn't your first practice, but dog down is one of those poses that we do every time to limber the body into the practice. But we don't do it just for pure repetition purposes. It prepares the body, it prepares the mind. It draws your attention into the seat bones, into the action of the legs. Tighten your kneecaps, lift the fronts of the thighs up towards the top of the leg. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Think about that corkscrew action of the legs, the fronts of the legs turning inwards, the backs of the legs broadening outwards in a corkscrew from the hips down into the feet. Breathing, long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. If I'm holding you too long in the pose, then you can release, just relax for a moment. If you can stay and maintain, then do. Just feel how the body maybe resists, but it also craves the extension. Keep the breath deep and soft. Step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then get a couple of blocks for your hand. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat with your hands on your hips. Feel that the feet are touching the edge of the mat, the edge of the feet are touching the edge of the mat. Turn your toes in. Make sure that your toes are in line with each other in front of you. Tighten your kneecaps, lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards. Hit the legs towards the wall behind you. Wing the elbows towards each other behind you. And keeping the head lifted, keeping the back straight. Hinge at the hips. Hinge at the hips, and then reach down and find the blocks. Have the blocks underneath your shoulders. So not reaching forwards, hands underneath the shoulders. Reactivate those legs. Can you hit your legs back so that your weight is in your heels? Lift the fronts of the thighs upwards, lift the seat bones upwards, project the chin and the chest forwards. If you can go down lower, then do, but all the time just observing how your body responds to the pose and treating it with kindness. Don't push too hard, but don't push too little either. Just find how your body responds to the pose. If you can reach the floor, then do that because it feels right, not because the body, your mind wants you to go there. Okay, bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into a standing position. And then come into Tadasana, inner edge of your feet together. And lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Lengthening the hands down to the floor with intention, lifting the heart area with intention. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet wide apart. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. And then straighten your legs, tighten your kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the thighs outwards and then come down. Find the shin. Look up. Don't try and go down too low with that hand. Just find the shin, at least at first. Turn the fronts of the thighs outwards, corkscrewing, so that the fronts of the thighs turn from the big toe side to the little toe side, the backs of the thighs from the little toe to the big toe side. Lengthening from the feet up into the hips, up into the spine, out into the arms. Extending just as willingly into that upper arm as into the bottom arm. Just have a quick look down. Is your head directly over the foot? If it's not, then lift the chest a little more. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone in a little more. And then look up. Reach up with the top hand, come back to the centre. And then swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Being mindful of that alignment, the heel aligning with the instep or the toes of the back foot. Tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the legs outwards, and then reach over, find the shin. Just go down as low as the pose will permit. Don't try and go down to the heel, down to the foot. Not until you've just initiated yourself into the pose. I see all the time people doing this, and there's nothing in that that's a pleasant experience. It's a heavy experience. You've got to keep the body in alignment, look down, over, bring your head over that, over the foot. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then reach up, come back to the centre, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump the feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Just listening to the sound of the inhalation, the sound of the exhalation. Okay, get a couple of blocks for your hands for parsvottanasana. So have the blocks on the right side of your mat, on the tall end, and then come back into Tadasana. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Bring your hands onto your hips and then turn the left toes in really steeply, more steeply than you would for trikonasana. And then rotate the other foot so that the legs are kind of pointing towards the sides of the room. Now at this stage, this back leg hip probably feels like it's stuck a little bit. So the best way to overcome that is to pick up the heel of the back foot and turn it out. And then we're going to corkscrew these legs. Turn the fronts of the legs consciously inwards. Have your hands on your hips and feel that they are level. That this back leg hip isn't further back than the front leg hip. Turn the fronts of the legs deeply. Feel the backs of the thighs broadening outwards. Feeling that corkscrew action. And then hands on the hips. Keep the head lifted. Keep the heart area lifted. and then come forwards. Reach down, find the blocks or find the floor. Sometimes it's good to just go to the blocks straight away. Sometimes it's nice to just go down to the floor. So the blocks are there to give you extension in the upper body. So if you go straight to the floor and then realise that maybe your tailbone is dropping, then go on to a lift. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep the fronts of the thighs turning inwards, the backs of the thighs broadening outwards on both legs. If you can reach the floor, then just stay on the higher lift. If you've got back problems, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, projecting the chin and the chest forwards, feeling that the hips are level. If you can, start to walk your hands towards the back leg, keeping the chest lifted, keeping those legs turning, keeping the head lifted as you come down, keeping the heart area extending, bringing the chest along that front leg, keeping that front leg turning inwards. Okay, bring your hands either side of the foot and then bend that front leg, step forwards and then come up into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana and then put the blocks onto the other side of the mat. Come back into Tadasana. So just assess how your body is feeling through these poses. So we had at least, from Wednesday to Friday off last week because I was teaching elsewhere, and I was riding a bike every morning into Salford and back. And so these poses really give me space in that kind of bike riders areas of the legs and the hips and the buttocks. The areas where you tend to really work harder. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring your arms out nice and wide into the chest and then step or jump the feet apart. Bring your hands onto your hips. Turn the right toes in as steeply as you can. Turn the left leg and foot all the way out. Turn that back heel out. Have the heels in line, more or less in line. So you don't want the front foot to kind of overcross. You don't want it to kind of go beyond that back foot. So have it where the heels are in line. If that makes you feel a little wobbly, then you can bring this front foot out to the left a little bit more. Have your hands on your hips. Corkscrew those legs tight in the kneecaps. Lift up into the chest. Keep the head lifted. Keep the back straight. Keep the hips level as you come forwards. And then reach down. Find the blocks initially or go straight to the floor. But just observe how the blocks, if you go to the top level of the blocks, you get a really good lift. And then progressively, as you go down lower, maybe that lift, those extensions become compromised. So it's good to maybe just observe, well, how does going back to the higher lift give you that space that the body craves within the pose. Project the chin and the chest forwards. And then if you can walk your hand towards the back leg, but just observing that maybe the pose just feels completely different on this side. And maybe the body isn't ready to go all the way down. So work with that innate consciousness, that innate sensation of inner responsibility, protecting the body but extending it deeply at the same time. Just observe how the legs are working. Observe how the hips remain level. Projection into the chest. So on this side for me, I don't feel really ready to go down this morning. I feel like I need to work on the initial extension. So I'm just respecting that on this side. Doesn't mean that you work any less focused. Bend that front leg, step forwards with the back leg, and then come back up into Tadasana. Just observing how you've woken up the muscles, how you've given them space. Just listen to the breath. Spread your fingers, spread your palms. Feel that the palm skin stretches because you're spreading your fingers. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers right into the webbing of the hands. Turn the palms all the way out. And then raise your arms over your head. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, the backs of the thighs outwards. Lengthening from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms. Keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Forwards with the hands, swap the interlock of the fingers so that the other index finger is on the top of the stack, and then turn the palms again all the way out, keeping the legs straight, keeping the legs in Tadasana, and then raise your arms over your head, turning the fronts of the legs inwards, the backs of the legs outwards, that corkscrew action. Release your arms and then come back into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana. Turn the palms all the way out. Broadening the chest. Spreading the fingers, spreading the palms. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Tucking the tailbone in. Drawing the belly button towards the spine. And then release. Find something in the room that's kind of hip width height. It can be a little bit higher, don't go too much lower, but about hip width height. And then bring your feet hip width apart. Turn your toes in and then stretch your arms along. Bring the little finger side of the hands onto the lift and then press down onto the lift. And then hit the legs away. Keep the legs really straight. Hit the legs away. Feel that extension in the side ribs. So it's kind of like uttanasana, but half uttanasana with extended arms. Just giving you that length in the spine. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. Turn the backs of the thighs outwards. Keep lifting the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Project the chin and the chest forwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then gently come up into a standing position, back into Tadasana. Just feel how that extension lengthens the spine, brings energy into the spine. Just listening to the sound of the breath. Okay, and then come down onto your knees. Have your hands shoulder width apart, pressing into the floor. Step back, have your feet hip width apart, and then come up into svanasana. Tighten the kneecaps, lift the fronts of the thighs upwards, turn the fronts of the thighs outwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, filling the lungs. Focusing on the focus of the kneecaps, pressing the fronts of the knees consciously through to the backs of the knees. Focusing on how that activates the thighs, the upper thighs. Giving you space in the lumbar. Keep breathing full, deep inhalations and exhalations. Feeling how you bring energy into the limbs like no other practice can do. It brings energy in through the extension, in through the breath. So ingest the inhalation. Okay, come down onto your knees and just sit back on your heels. Just sit back on your heels, lifting up into the chest, elevating the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down. Just spend a few moments just to observe how your energy is really opened up. Listen to the breath. Listen to the inhalation and the exhalation. Just feeling how you've woken up the energy within your physical body. And then keeping the shins pressing into the floor, keeping the seat bones down on the heels, keeping the heart area and the abdomen area lifting, keeping the head lifting. Come forwards, hinging at the hips. And then lengthen forwards, keep the arms straight, keep the seat bones hitting down on the heels. And stretch forwards into virasana. And then release your arms to the sides of the body in the traditional child's pose.
So there's something comforting about this, but it can become quite a challenge. It can feel quite heavy on your head. If that is the case for you, if it's too heavy on your head, too heavy on your neck, then lengthen consciously from the shoulders into the fingertips. Just distributing your weight. But it also shows you how extension is a conscious action. How the distribution of energy is a conscious action. Just let your arms relax to the sides of the body and then feel how the pose inevitably becomes heavier on your head. And then consciously lengthen from the shoulders into the fingers. Feeling the tangible difference between the weight on the head and the more distributed energy. So extension works to distribute our energy. Stretch your arms over your head again into Adho Mukha Virasana, pushing the hands into the floor, hitting the seat bones down on the heels, lengthening forwards. Okay, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into a seated position, and then just sit back on your heels for a moment, observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed, just observing the lightness that our practice emerges. Lightness from the bones radiating into the muscles. And then come down onto your back and into supta baddangulyasana, just grounding your energy. Have the feet together, the knees apart, and then just initially let the body just rest into the floor. If there's discomfort in your hips, then you can either put blocks on the outsides of the thighs, or you can activate the feet, press the feet firmly together. Just let the body rest into the floor initially. And then consciously stamp the heels together, stamp the outside edge of the feet together, so that there's instant compactness in the hips. The hips feel like they suck inwards, and you can lengthen into the sacrum tailbone region, drawing the tailbone almost up off the floor towards the ceiling. Feel how that action allows the lumbar to sit more firmly upon the floor, kind of overcoming its natural arc. Draw the belly button to the spine, have your hands on your lower ribs, just observe the energy from the feet into the hips, from the hips into the feet. And then consciously lengthen your arms to the ceiling, interlock your fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then lengthen your arms along the floor. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, put a block or a bolster or a folded blanket underneath your hands to support your shoulders. But feel that innate energy in the legs and in the hips. And then work to extend from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms. Just really waking up the upper body. Bringing energy into the upper body by extending it. Keeping the feet pressing firmly together. Opening up the armpits as you extend your arms away from the head. raise your arms, swap the interlock of your fingers, and then turn the palms all the way up, and again lengthen your arms along the floor. And then release your arms, rest your hands on your lower ribs, let the knees fall apart. And then gently draw your knees together, have your knees together and your feet apart. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And roll yourself up into a seated position. And just come into cross legs. Just come into cross legs. If you need to sit on a lift to lift the spine, then do. Just feel that you're level, that the seat bones hold onto your knee. Lift up into the chest, lift up into the heart area, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, and your ribs and your shoulders. Reintroducing the sensation of elevation back to the body after a little break. And then come back to the centre, hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest and then turn to the right side, the left side, turn the other way. Just observing how the body resists it and welcomes it all in almost the same breath. Okay, and then come back to the centre. Just observe, hold on to your knees for a moment, just close your eyes for a moment. Observe the energy that you have released through your practice, that feeling of almost invincible lightness that radiates from the core. folded blanket for underneath your head. Straighten yourself out along the mat. Just come onto your elbows initially. Make sure that you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. Support the back of your neck and your head on the bolster, on the folded blanket, and then allow the body to release into the floor. Focus on the depth of the breath. Continuing to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom. And then consciously, with an out breath, unhook the muscles from the bones, the arms and the legs. Unhook the muscles from the bones and allow the physical body to become heavy on the floor. And observe that out of that physical heaviness comes a sensation of energetic lightness. An energetic lightness that radiates energy from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Bringing positive energy into the physical body. Just allowing the physical body to relax into the floor while filling the body with energy. Distribute that energy into the organs and into the flesh and into the skin, using your breath to distribute it. Down into the toes and into the fingertips and up into the top of the head. And when you're ready ready to disturb yourself, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And then bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just feeling the renewed lightness on the inside, that energy that will propel you through the day. And then roll onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Being conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lifting your chest up to meet your chin, be conscious of the energy that you have released around the heart area. That good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy, giving yourself good, positive energy to put into your day. So, thank you very much for joining me.